If anyone wants a handout that didn't get one, there's about 10 up there by Tim on the left side there. You can raise your hand if you want one. I'll wait a few minutes while you're getting your handouts. As they're finishing passing out the handouts, I'll review the outline today. I'm going to talk about the health apps, two of them that interface with the CGM, the Dexcom CGM. And we're going to talk about a couple other diabetes apps, and we're going to talk about some smart kitchen tools. And it was fun to research some of these smart devices that are out there. And at the end, I'll mention a smart bathroom scale as well. So you heard all about some of the continuous glucose monitors this morning, and I did wear a Libre 2 around November as part of an educational event. And this week I've been wearing the Dexcom G6, and it was fun to learn about these other apps. So let me connect with Happy Bob. I'm going to show you my phone in a second. And I'm going to show you Happy Bob first. All right, if Seth and the guys would let my phone show up on the screen. Nope, it's not. Let me try it again. Let me turn my phone off, plug in. I just maybe didn't have it. I just didn't have it plugged in, pushed in all the way, I think. So Happy Bob is going to be a fun way to see your graphs and your information if you're a child or you just have some visual preferences on ways to see the data. So this is Happy Bob, and there's a character. Happy Bob is kind of friendly for the free version. And if I, let's see, then we have okay, so I need to get into the right mode here. Sorry, guys. You can do Happy Bob or Frosty. Usually when I push on it, it will come up, and it's not doing it right now. So let me just go on to another part of the presentation, and I'll try to answer your questions on this. But if you do want to know how to use Happy Bob, there's information and frequently asked questions. I know, let me try one more time. You can create groups. Okay, so, here we go. An error has occurred. Oh, secure connection. So, but basically, you can see your data, and this happy face comes up, and you get different comments. It was just working earlier. Let me try SugarMate. SugarMate has been fun to learn. You saw the graphs that Dr. Patel showed, and it was basic graph information, and you got to see some of your time in range, which was really great. But I like this SugarMate app because you can change the background of the colors. You can add when you've exercised. You can add your food. You can add just carbohydrate. That was my breakfast. I can tap on grams of carbohydrate. I can tap on that, and I can see what I actually ate for breakfast. And what I like about this is when I do want to enter something like my food, you can use this search bar, and you can use the barcode app. And you can also keep adding so that your whole breakfast gets added there. So this is just a nice, unique way to see the data. And if I move down the screen, you can set these tiles at the bottom. See where it's in range. That word GMI that Dr. Patel mentioned, it's like an estimated hemoglobin A1C. So you can see that. You can, I don't have this set up right now with a calorie tracker or an exercise tracker, but you can track about 33 different things that you want to track. So I thought that was fun. I think we'll stop on my phone for now, and we'll go back to the slides. So there's your Happy Bob. Oh, you know what else about Happy Bob? Those colors change depending on if your glucose is low, it'll be purple. If your glucose is higher, the background will turn yellow. So it's really great for kids. And there's Sugarmate. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about these other interfaces, but I wanted to mention them. If you're a business, some of these are good. Some businesses use, for example, camp views. If you have a diabetes camp that you're involved with, you know, we've heard of Teladoc, some of us before. You know, our insurance companies work with Teladoc, so the Dexcom interfaces with that. Here are a couple other diabetes-friendly apps that will work that if you want to track your information, track your blood glucose, your mood, your carbohydrates, your medications. My Sugar is an app, and that's spelled correctly, MySugr. And there's another one, MyNet Diary. And I had a client in gestational diabetes class the other day that was using this, and it did ask her, are you pregnant or not, before it calculated the information. So I thought that was great. And look, this MyNet Diary was even developed by registered dietitians. I'd forgotten about that. It's a large, there's a large food database and barcode scanner, healthy recipes, weight loss blogs. Now for the fun, all of this has been fun, but now for some more of the fun part of the presentation. Smart kitchen tools. Has anyone heard of a Tavola smart oven? I guess Oprah has. There was some ad about Oprah said it was great, but anyway. Let's see. And we're going to talk about some smart food scales, Instant Pots, air fryers, and some USB rechargeable thermometers. So the Tavola Smart Oven, it's a system of a smart oven and an app. And if you choose, you can buy meals from the company that you can cook in their oven. And it is countertop size. But with the app, you can scan the QR code from the product you buy from the company, or you can scan the QR code from the food you buy in the store, and then it will cook it for you. There are 6 modes of cooking. You know, it can steam and bake and air fry and broil and toast, reheat. So they are about $400 new, but on eBay I found them $200 and some dollars. But one of my colleagues really liked that because it was a way that she was able to get her family member to eat more nutritious meals, you know, when my colleague wasn't home. So if you are limited on time or cooking knowledge, or you have kids that are, or grandkids that are home, you know, and when you're not there and you want them to have a well-balanced meal, you can do that. You know, I can actually switch over to my phone and go on the internet and just show you a little bit. Well, there's the Instant Pots. We'll get to that in a minute. Tavola. So you can order recipes from them, and if you could scroll down, the tech people can scroll. Or no, I'm scrolling down because never mind. So, you know, I noticed that when you buy food from them, some of them have vegetables and some don't. So I noticed the basic price was $10.99 for some of the meals, but some of them, you know, were $12.99 per meal. And you know, if I scrolled way down, there was one with vegetables down here that with broccoli, and it way under the other starchy stuff here. So I'm sure there's ways to customize, is what I'm trying to say, that you can get some of the meals for probably 10 to 14-ish. There's my broccoli, some shrimp Alfredo with broccoli. So just so you know that that's available, it works for some people, and it was just something new that's out there that I discovered that's a smart cooking tool. And here's another product that I'm really excited about. I've known about this technology for a while, but I've never seen it. And the Greater Goods, it's called a smart scale. It's really called the Nutrition Facts Scale. It's by the company Greater Goods. So have you ever been at home or at a restaurant and wondered, how many grams of carbs do I think is in this potato? Or in this apple? Or in this banana? So what this scale comes with is it comes with a brochure with some codes for apples and bananas and different foods that don't have food labels. And you would just put the code for banana, or in this case on the slide avocado, or in this case potato. You would put the code for potato in the top of the scale. When it turns on, that very first line says food code. And then you weigh the item, and it shows you the nutrition facts, just like on a nutrition facts panel. So guesstimate how many grams of carbs do you think is, or how much weight do you think this potato has, or how many grams of carbs, if you're carb counting, how many do you think this has?
45.
Someone's guessing 45, 60. This is around 60. And guess which one is around 15? This one's actually a 4-ounce potato, and it's actually closer to 20 grams of carbs. Gosh, so guess what if you go to Wendy's for a baked potato, or if you go to the steakhouse for a baked potato? Sometimes.
Make a difference if you bake it or boil it?
Good question. In the brochure, they have an option for raw potato or cooked potato. And in the apple, they have, I believe it was with skin or without skin. And guess what? If you don't want to carry that brochure around with you, you can download an app to have the food codes. And if you don't want to carry an app with you and you don't want to carry a card with you, some people said they just type the 10 most common foods that they use that scale for, and they put it on a piece of paper and they tape it to the inside of their cupboard. So there's low-tech and high-tech ways to do this. But this scale, I just think, is tremendous. It's tremendous help if you're just trying to quickly figure out apples and potatoes and things that don't have a nutrition label like your produce.
And you have an example of it here?
Yes, thanks for reminding me. Yes, it's out on the technology table. And they have an apple that you can see how it works. And this technology, and there's a way to make a recipe. So there's 2,000 foods in the database. I could not find out what database it uses, but it does have 2,000 foods in there. And you can put your own 100 foods in if you'd like. And you can use it to make a recipe if you have a salad or a smoothie or something, even though smoothies you can get really high carb really fast. So let's say you can put a salad recipe in there. And you can also use it to add all the food you eat throughout the day. If you weighed everything that you ate throughout the day and used this scale, you can use the save and feature and continue to add all the food throughout the day and see your calories by the end of the day. However, we know that there's other technology out there that might be able to utilize that information better. But I just like it for being able to weigh it, an apple or a potato or something. So again, I've mentioned all these things already. It weighs up to 11 pounds. It uses AAA batteries, and it's about $50 on Amazon.com. I bet everybody in here almost has an air fryer. Does everybody have an air fryer? No. Nope, I don't either. Some people do. So I just Googled, what are the top 3 air fryers? One of the searches showed these. They're about the first 2 on the left, $180, $160. The one on the right, about $100. And air fryers, work with convection heating. It's kind of like if you want to make a food less fat but crispy, that's why what they're touted for. And you can also roast vegetables and cook anything you would put in an oven. There's a few cookbooks out there that you can purchase to use with air fryers, but you know what makes me mad about these 3 cookbooks? They say diabetic air fryer. They should say air fryer recipes for people with diabetes, shouldn't they? If you have done all the tables and you're wanting to win door prizes, there are a few cookbooks out there as door prizes, but this cookbook on the left does not have pictures. Just FYI, if you're looking through prizes out there. Instant Pots. So I can go ahead and use my phone to show you the Instant Pots. Again, with a search, you can find that information out. And there are so many out there. Some of them do air frying and Instant Pot cooking at the same time. You saw on the table out there was an example of a couple of Instant Pots. Oops. And I like that. What do you guys, if you have an Instant Pot, people like to cook beans in them, they like to cook stews in them. There's actually some recipes out in the hallway at one of the booths with that information. So here we go. Here are some of the top Instant Pots we've got. This is from Good Housekeeping. That's their picks. There's other people who have, written their picks. They're at least $99 at the low end, and you can see that on the top end, this Instant Pot Duo Crisp Ultimate is $200 range. Okay, I think we can go back to the slides. And here is an Instant Pot cookbook, and this is from the American Diabetes Association. And look, they say for diabetes. They don't say diabetic Instant Pot cookbook, so I like this one. And this is also out there as a door prize, or as a bingo, if you've played the bingo game. Those of us who cook, some of us, in quantity cooking, we need to check the temperature of food. And I thought this was interesting. I saw something similar to this in my grocery store. And I just thought, wow, we don't even have to use batteries now or throw things away. We can actually use this it's a USB rechargeable item. And on those scales I showed you, people want that company to make their scale to have a USB rechargeable instead of using batteries. So I think we'll see more and more things out in the environment with these rechargeable items. There are smart bathroom scales as well. One of my clients said, hey, my doctor told me to look into this Renpho brand. That's just why I put the name of that up there first. There are other smart bathroom scales, from Garmin and some other companies. Basically, it's a way that when you get on the scale, your weight goes to your health app, all those other health apps that are out there, if you have a health app like the Apple or the Android health apps. But you can also get a % body fat, and that's why some people like them. Let me try. Do you guys want to? We have a few minutes left. Do you want to try? Let's try Happy Bob again. Let's go back to my Happy Bob. I don't know why. Yeah.
Try taking it off Wi-Fi.
Take it what?
See if you take it off Wi-Fi and get on your own network. I wonder if the Ohio Health Wi-Fi is blocking it.
Okay, so go into settings maybe. Into settings or.
Uh-huh. And then click your Wi-Fi off. Let's see if that works.
And go back to
Yeah,
here.
Go back to Happy Bob. And then maybe refresh it.
Oh, okay. So here are some of the sayings that Happy Bob. So if I push this, see, look. So you can see what Happy Bob's saying there. So I have to hook this up to a health app. So I know I've burned more than 22 calories today, right? So these stars. Let's look at this. So on the top left, if you know some grandkids or kids that would like this, that's where you can. I already showed you briefly. You can change the character. Let's go ahead and change to the snowman and see what he has to say. His sayings are things like, he's a little different. Happy Bob was pretty happy in his sayings. This snowman's a little different. He has a few other things to say. wow, you've reached your goal of 221 stars. He has about the steps. I noticed, though, that, watch this, some of these characters, I wish I could see what Snarky Bob has to say, but he's, you know, you have to buy the premium for that one. There's a Dad Bob. Don't you wonder what the Dad Bob has to say? Let's go and let me show you more about and you can see the stars at the bottom. If you're in a certain glucose range, the stars are filled in blue. If you're in a different range, if you're not quite in this tight of range, the stars are there, but they're not filled in. If I click on this bar graph, that it can also see steps, I believe, and some different things. But let's go back to I'm going to keep on this, and I'm going to try Sugarmate again. I want to show you a few other things about that. So I'll show you. So here's the last night. I don't know why at 11 p.m. I just went to bed. I don't know why it was up like that. Then this morning I got up, and about 5:30 or so I did a little workout, and then it was green, and then I ate some breakfast, which is normal. It would go up a little bit above range, and then at 9 a.m. I'm just about here getting ready for the conference. So maybe at 10 o'clock, maybe that yellow bump must be stress. I didn't think I was that stressed, but look, I must have been a little nervous underneath about the presentation, so my glucose went up. And then that meal was just that pretend meal that I just added for you. So I think we can either transition to the group questions and answers now if you'd like to.